Alright, so welcome on down. We're back. It's Wids TV, and it's been a little bit of a while, but we're back in business now, the main man. And I'm delighted to say that it's that time of year again, and it's the end of the season, and we've come around again. And we've got a great panel here today, and it's the second team season review. So, Mr. Adam Watson, who's the head coach, and then his right hand man as well, Mr. Hetherington over here. Boys, just a rough overview from yourselves. How has the season gone?
First season, it's been a bit of a success, I'd say, overall. Got to a quarter-final League Cup, mid-table of the league. Could have gone better, could have gone worse, I think.
Yeah, no, I think as we've started off, we started trying to put our ideas across. People have bought into it a little bit as the season's gone on, and we've kicked on week, and we've built a rapport, and I think the lads have enjoyed it. So,
when you're saying you're putting those ideas across, what were your sort of ideas at the start of the year that you put to the boys?
Yeah, so first couple of weeks is about getting people together, seeing who stays together, who can we bring in. So we had a few rugby league lads come in, they had to learn the game, the basics. We've had fellas come back, we've had lads that have been playing out of town come back, whether they've wanted to press for the first team, whether they thought the level was their own or they needed to play a level below. So week on week we've introduced patterns of play, we've introduced moves, we've introduced defensive patterns, attacking patterns. We try to set up a game structure, but obviously at this level, you know yourself, your team varies. So every week something different, something to come up your cry-offs, your cancellations, your call-ups, injuries, suspensions. So if you have that core group of 5 or 6 lads like luckily we've had, you can still implement it. It just means it has to come a little bit tighter, a little bit shorter, play a little bit more sensible. Yeah,
so I remember when I was doing it, that from every single week there was a different team, or there was a different problem or different issue. So you're saying about those new players coming in. Who were those new players? Who's come in and played?
So we've had rugby league lads, we've had Jack Murphy, we've had Ryan Stokes, we've had Carl Weeks has come playing, we've had Rooney's come back and he's regularly playing. We've had lads step up from the third team. We've had lads that fortunately have played well enough for us and have stepped up, and we've had lads coming back from suspensions, from injuries, playing twos. So we've had a good mix. We've had the rugby league lads have come in and really added something, and not only have they added it, they've bought into what we're doing. They've knuckled down, they've not caused no problems, and hopefully that they'll attract more lads to come in and be a part of the club. Yeah.
Any stand-up performances from you, Watson?
Been a lot of lads. Couple of rugby league lads. Jack Murphy's played really well. Steve Curfy, Ryan Stokes, Carl Leach. There's been a few.
The thing with Steve, we've been lucky where Steve's been one of these the last. Even when you were here, he was playing. Steve sticks around and brings people with him. So Steve is one of your, call him an older head, a wise head. Does lose his cannon a few times and he gets a bit over aggressive, but he brings, like Kyle, when Kyle played, Kyle really added something for us. He comes in, he settles down, he puts us in the right areas, and that allows us to play it around him and brings other people into the game. Steve's someone that's been around for a while, so people just associate Steve being one of us anyway, because he's usually here when West Bank aren't playing. So you're overlooked here a little bit, but his influence is pretty big when he plays. So, but yeah, we try and get everybody in. But we've had Stokes, he's been outstanding. Carl Leach has been outstanding. Jack was unfortunate and got a couple of injuries, and then West Bank started playing, and he had selection duties for the Lionhearts with Macca. Didn't make it, but it sort of disrupted his flow with us. And if he'd have probably stayed injury free and kept playing, he'd have been pushing for one of our probably players of the year, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was outstanding.
Yeah. So you're saying you've had those new boys coming. What about, I remember when I was doing the core of that team was like the guys that came through the Colts. Yeah. So you had Little James at fullback, Macca, Jack Gill. What about those guys? Are those guys still there and doing what you need?
Yeah, so Jack Gill, he's probably, actually he had a spell where he couldn't play. Yeah. But he was one of our main go-to boys in the pack. And Macca's developed big time. As is Jack, but Macca's really kicked on, so he's been in and out the first team.
Captain as well.
Yeah, he's been made our captain. We've had to move it about a bit due to injuries, unavailabilities and call-ups. But Mac is someone that's really kicked on.
Yeah.
He's our voice in the back line, he's our organiser, he's someone you can speak to and he takes on what you're saying. And he tries to keep, for the young lad, he's got a steady head. Gillily's the same, what he does every week. So he probably overlooked Jack a little bit, because his standards are, for our level, right up there. James Owen, been really good for us, he's solid, he's consistent, and he's still learning the game as well, so hopefully he gets better.
All of the young guys.
Rooney's the same, Rooney's come back, he's playing more regular, his game's stepped up a lot. Will Patient, someone who's drastically improved, and he's moved from the back line to the forwards, is probably Tom Clare. Yeah. I think he's sort of found his spot now.
Tom Clare, we found him. To be fair, Tom Clare's a good rugby player who needed a position, because he didn't really have a position. And now that I think that we found somewhere where we can play him and play him consistently. It's just a shame that we've got so many players within the club who play that position.
And then around that, you have the front five hasn't really changed. The only thing that changes is when Jack Murphy was injured and unavailable, and when maybe Will wanted to play hooker, and then you had Ben was floating in the back row, and then you had Stokes, you had to step into late or into four, so he was adding bulk wherever we were going. That settled down, and then when we had our, what I'd say our first choice back line, everybody fitted in place. So we had Josh Salter, who's also kicked on, mainly been in the first team this year because of his performances with us. You had Salter, you had Macca, and then you had Arch, which was a solid middle of the field. Your back three altered now and then, but it altered now and then because Arch had to float due to Macca being unavailable, Macca getting picked, Curfy being unavailable, which was probably, even though he is filming it, probably unfair on him because he never settled anywhere. It was 1 minute he was 10, then halfway through a game he'd be playing 9, 15, ideally he would be probably our 13, but it just doesn't work like that at this level, does it?
No. So any memorable games or performances that you went and through the season?
Couple for me. Against the bigger sides we've done really well, obviously the 2 Ellsbury results were big results, winning both of them. There was a game out here, we drew 7-0 with Chestnut. That was a really, really big one. That was showed a lot of fight in that because we went 7-0 down early on, first 10 minutes. Defensively we were really good last 20 minutes and we really, really pushed them and got the try in the last couple of minutes. It's his own Chapel out here the other week. On Chapel and Ware was a really, really good performance, deserved to win. Got beat unfortunately, but that one out here the other week was really, really good. Everything worked. Everything was spot on.
It's strange to me, the couple of games that stand out for me aren't really the wins, so a couple of losses. So the old Chapel away, I'd never been there before, so it's really small pitch, really narrow. They're a big side, they just come, they play out system, so they just come, they want your set piece, they want your line, they want to walk.
They want to keep it tight, they want walking rugby
defensively, we were outstanding, and that was a game I thought maybe a year ago, or maybe, no offence to you, underneath you and before you, they'd have collapsed under that type of pressure.
Yeah.
Where we held it together and we stayed in the game. The other one was the cup game, was it Marple away?
Tarleton it was.
Tarleton away. Really, we scored far too early. We scored off the first, I think you even missed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You missed it, it was that early, right? So we scored off a pushover scrum, which as a club we don't do often.
Don't ever win scrum.
Yeah, and then I'd say they had probably, a couple of big lads on the bench, didn't they? He's nodding, by the way.
Yeah.
A couple of big lads on the bench where I think they are for, if they get in trouble, they'll just empty the bench. They were in trouble, so they emptied the bench, which sort of took the sting out of us. But defensively, we stayed in the game. So we got breached numerous times, but the lad desire to get back and help his mate out and to make the tackle stood out. So it was the defeats that really showed me how far we've come rather than the wins.
Yeah.
We've
lost a lot of games that we shouldn't have lost as well, like collegiate, what was that one after Christmas? There was game after, something like that. There was game after, that was, we probably should have won that. There've been a lot of tight games, but next year, hopefully then, we can turn that around. Them tight games will be on the right side of it instead of the wrong side. And that's what we've got to aim to do now, because everything's right, hopefully we can get a settled side of 1 to 18 every week, and then it's about them getting the wrong results into the right way. Them games where we lose by 3-5 points, we win by 3 or 5 points. That's a big one for me.
Agreed.
As well.
Yeah, so where's those improvements and developments going to come in? So, you know, when we're thinking, we say, about next year, what are the plans going forward for next year?
So, off the field, it's got to start with. So we're still progressing as, we're not coaches because we're helping our mates out, just as you were. We've got to learn when to pipe up, when to pipe down, who needs an arm round them, who needs a foot up the arse. We need to learn about them. But they need to appreciate we're not doing it digging people out, we're doing it because we see things a little different, as you probably do when you do it. But off the field, we need someone to help us in the backs a little bit. So just putting it out there that if whenever you're ready, you're welcome back. On the field's basically about trying to get. We understand second team level people don't necessarily train every week. But,
that was one of the questions.
But then closer games, you win them because the other team train together. Tuesday, Thursdays, and you can see that where there's times with those you can see we like 4 lads are doing one thing that we do Tuesday, Thursdays, and the other lads can't quite get there because they're unfit or don't understand why we're doing a certain thing in a certain area. So progression wise, we're hoping we get more lads training. We're hoping we keep a core group of lads together because the team's a good team. It just gets picked apart.
It's a young team as well. It's young.
So we're all developing together, but we're looking to push on and understand the structure a bit more. Game management a little bit more will come through the summer training months and a couple of pre-season games. So hopefully we all kick on together and then you're on board and we'll all get involved then. And it'll be we'll have a few more socials. And,
it's about the structure for me. The only thing that we need to structurally seeing games out and things like that, grinding teams down. Because you do get some good teams who are good defensively. So then it's about grinding them down and the D keeps them in it. So it's about grinding it down there. And that's what we need. We need a bit more structure, play the phases and trust what we're doing. Sometimes it seems like we don't trust. And we'll get into their 22, we'll make an half break, then someone try to flick the ball on.
Panic.
And then it just everything falls apart. It's things like that we need to learn to have a bit more composure and a bit more structure.
Yeah, well, I remember the key word that I used to say to people when I was there was patience, and we never seem to have it. So seems like it's maybe a little bit of the same problem, but yeah. Anything else, boys, you want to say before we wrap it up?
We just personally, I just want to thank everyone for their efforts, the commitments, and let's get together and have one big last blowout and club dinner. Let's get behind the first team in the finals, and let's enjoy the end of the season awards and get together and have a pint. What we'll try and do over the summer, appreciate Let's Play Rugby League. I know the first team will be keen, same with the third team, is we'll try and have a night or two where we all get together in the summer.
Yeah.
So people don't disperse and think, oh, I'll go on next week, which tags on to the week after, which tags on to a month, which tags on to you've missed half a season and you've not come back. So we'll try and arrange something like that. But yeah, let's get behind the club for the rest of the season. Let's support the first team lads like they supported us in the Ellsby games and that. And yeah, let's just kick on and move on together and let's target a few of the bigger teams and let's look at, instead of finishing mid-table, finish top 3, top 4, and then we'll take game by game.
Go for the cup, big one.
No, boys, well done. Good work, boys.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
We'll see you next time on Wids TV.
Just before we wrap it up, can we get an exclusive? Are the Wids second team going to have a new back sculpt for next year?
Why do you need a new back sculpt?
It's just a question. It was brought up a few times throughout the interview.
Go on.
Yeah, we got it. There,